All right, party people. What's going on with you? What's going on with all of you? Oh man, let me see if I can pull some stuff up here. Mm-mm-mm. Let's see here. I always like to throw a little something, something from Instagram. My man Frank in the house. That man be darn near first every single time. And then my man Caprinas, he be running a very tight second slash first A and first beat him too. I tell you, my man. You looked at the video. See, I know Caprinas will look at the video. He's part of the membership. He'll look at those videos I be putting out there and everything. And I'm gonna be talking about that tonight also. Man, I tell you, there's just so much going on out here in this wonderful, wonderful world. So I just want y'all to just feel free to give me your thoughts and ideas on business scaling versus business growth. Doesn't matter which one is first because a lot of people don't understand it. And as I was talking to the channel members, I didn't quite understand it myself. So I had to do some research over the last couple of days, really a week or so, and just really think and get my head wrapped around it because I had some improper conclusions or thoughts about it. I would say I knew about 80% of what business scaling versus business growth was, but for some reason it just wasn't clicking. And it happens like that. So I did some research, some studying, and things started coming together, listening to some different individuals, and I'm like, okay, I see. And it helped me to understand um, a little bit more of why I push the way I do in this business, as well as why a lot of people fail in this business and get thrown off because they have the wrong understanding, the wrong concept, and the wrong focus. Okay. So, how what's been going on with y'all? Talk to me. Tell me what's been going on with y'all. You're doing good so far this year. We're 6 weeks into the new year. How have you been doing so far? For me, things have been good. My direct client, they popping. They called me up and was like, "Hey, can you knock out one tomorrow?" I was like, "Bet." Then they hit me up for one on Friday. I was like, "Bet." And this is just a result of me being able to get in there and just get the job done and get it done correctly. That's what this is all about. So um, I'm very, very pleased at this relationship that I have with them. Um, they're very straight to the point. It's like, hey, this is what we need you to do. Can you knock it out? Yes, I can. Either at their main at one of their offices here, or I go out to the customer. But nonetheless, it's a good company and got some good business coming my way, and they pay within about a week and a half or so. So they're doing their part. I'm doing my part. That's a beautiful relationship. So how have y'all been doing? I think I'm at about 30 signings for the month. Let me take a quick look because I really hadn't, or maybe I'm less. I can't remember. Maybe I'm thinking last month. I don't know. Let me see what I'm at this month. One, two, three. Let me go back. What is this? I gotta go back. One more day. All right. I have one there. And then we looking at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I'm trying to remember if I did that one. That was a POA. I can't. Okay, no, that was just to go by and pick that up. 18. I said 18, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 1. Okay, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 22, 23, 24, 25, 6, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. So 37 for the first 15 days. That is very, very good. That is that is very good for me. 37 for the first 15 days. So my goal is if I can double that, that'll be great. That'll be 74, which is on pace for what I've been doing. So I'm pushing. So I'm pushed to get another 30 something in this month. That's gonna be great. Okay. Look like my stuff is yeah. Yeah, look like it's gonna be great. And you know what? Let me turn that off. And turn that off. And turn that off. All right. All right. I think what it is, sometimes I have Instagram up and I think Instagram be pulling too many resources and stuff. And then what's going on from Florida? I sure know. I know for sure growth is basically growing your business all across the board while increasing deposits. There you go. Gotcha. Gotcha. My man Frank said had his best week in 5 years. 90% repeat customers, man. That's awesome. And Frank's been doing this a while. So you want to learn something down there in Alabama, hit up Frank. So make sure y'all hit the like button so YouTube will push this bad boy out. I'm trying to give people a little bit of time to come in. We're going to get right into talking about growth versus business growth versus business scaling. Y'all know how I like to do. You know, I'm a teacher, so I don't just throw stuff out there. I give y'all information so you can actually see it for yourself and to make sure you understand what it actually is. Um, okay, cool. You know what it actually is, because if you don't understand the truth of the definition of the words, then how can you actually implement it? So, um, let me just go with the definition and pull this up on screen for y'all so y'all can see this and then we'll go from there. All right. And close that off. And let's hit the enlarge. So let's bring that up just a touch more. All right, cool. So take a swig of water. Now, this is from DeepSeek, the new AI. I also looked it up on Gemini. So I think did I look it up on? It was under a different account in Gemini, but I did look it up on in Gemini. So let's look at what it says here. Business scaling and business growth are two important concepts in the business world, often used interchangeably, but with distinct meanings. So this is where a lot of people make the mistake, and just like I did, you're thinking that business growth and everything is the same thing. It is not. Business growth and business scaling is two different things, but the terms can be used interchangeably. Now, again, throw your questions in the chat. If you got any questions concerning this or any other part of the business, hit the like button. Let everybody know that up here. Because it's crucial, like it says here, that you understand what the difference is. Because how can you grow something if you don't know what it means? How can you scale something if you don't know what it means? Okay, it's just that simple. And let me know if y'all having any technical difficulties. You shouldn't. I'm looking at my video. You should not be, but just let me know if you are, because I know YouTube has been tripping lately and been messing some things up. So if you're having a problem, let me know. If it seems like it's sort of spotty, just let me know. I'm trying to keep an eye on it on my phone here at the same time. So it says, understanding the difference between them is crucial for entrepreneurs and business leaders aiming to build sustainable and successful organizations. So let's just take a quick look at business growth. Business growth refers to the increase in a company's size, revenue, market share, and customer base. It typically involves adding resources, employees, equipment, locations to support the expansion. Growth is often linear, meaning that as the business expands, costs and resources increase proportionally. So as you try to do more and more, it costs you more to do that growth in that business. So you're trying to get employees, equipment, all of that. Like I got the two printers back there. That was part of business growth. See, going into different locations when you say, well, I'm gonna do direct um and signing services, or I'm going to do Ron. What does it cost to do Ron? All of these things as part of your business growth. So as you're trying to expand different locations or different avenues in which you can reach people, it also costs more to do it because being able to have a mobile printer set up, that costs money. All of that. So key business characteristics: revenue increase. Growth often often focuses on generating more sales or revenue, resource expansion, more resources, staff, inventory, infrastructure. Now, for me, I'm not trying to do staff, but I'm trying to make sure my inventory and my infrastructure is good. They require support to increase demand. So as I get more demand for my services, like when the new direct client I have, I'm able to actually support them. Okay. Now, some people, depending on your business structure, you may need staff in order to support them. And in other cases, you may need more inventory. That's why I got a ton of paper over here and I got, my toner and all of that. I have my infrastructure where if I need to order paper, order toner, order this, that, and the other, I can and get it to myself fairly quickly. Linear relationships, costs and revenues tend to rise at the similar rate. I'm still there for the most part because I'm in the growth phase. Short-term focus growth strategies may prioritize immediate results such as acquiring new customers and entering new markets. Examples: opening new stores, hiring more employees, and increasing production capacity. So while growth is essential, it can sometimes lead to inefficiencies if not managed properly. For example, doubling revenue might require doubling workforce, which can strain operations and reduce profitability. So for a lot of us, we're really in the growth phase. Let me come back to y'all for a second. And feel free to ask you any questions or give your comments. A lot of us are in the growth phase. We're in the growth phase, and the reason why is because we're still trying to move forward and get a handle on this business. That's where we're at right now. And if you don't understand how to properly grow your business, how can you scale it? You see what I'm saying? If you can't grow the business, then you can't really scale it because you can't scale something you haven't grown. And part of growth is getting out there and doing the work. Whereas a lot of people actually aren't doing the work. So because you're not doing the work, you're not actually growing your business. And because you're not growing your business, then that means what? That means if you're not growing your business, then you don't really have anything to scale. You don't have nothing to scale whatsoever because you're not doing anything. You're not bringing in any revenue at all. So you got to bring in revenue in order for you to say, you know what, I need to now, scale the business. Now, what is business scaling? Let's look at that real quick. So it says scaling, on the other hand, refers to increasing revenue without or output without proportional increase in costs or resources. It focuses on improving efficiency and leveraging systems, processes, technology to handle more business without significantly adding to expenses. And I'm doing that to a small degree. I would say I'm doing that to a small degree. Scaling is about achieving exponential growth with minimum incremental costs. And I'm sort of in that phase too. I'm growing the business, but I'm also able to scale by adding new clients to my business and actually without it costing me any extra money. So right now with my new clients, the new direct clients, they're actually doing all the printing. So that cost of having a new client doesn't incur any cost to me. I'm not adding any cost um to my bottom line because I just show up and they have everything already printed. And I like that. I like that. So that's where it's at. So, but you can't, I gotta check something. While you can't actually grow again unless you can't scale unless you grow. So you got to at least first grow, then move toward scaling. So let's go back here. So key characteristics: efficiency, Focus scaling emphasizes optimizing operations to handle more business with the same or fewer resources. So, in other words, if you typically, so that means if you typically are growing, using 5 cases of paper a month, you want to be able to do the same thing at 5 cases of paper. You see what I'm saying? And grow your business that way. Exponential growth increase revenue at a faster rate than costs. And this is where people talk about using AI and other things. Let's just say you're trying to grow your business, you can use AI to craft your emails. You can say, hey, write me an email that says dot dot dot, and then it puts it together and it tweaks it for you and all of that. Leveraging technology, which I was just saying, software, things of that nature, long-term focus. Scaling actually focuses on the long-term strategy. So this is key here. This is real key. A lot of people that are part of the notary business have no desire to be in it long term. So if you're taking courses and sitting in trainings and all that kind of stuff to try to scale the business when you really have no desire to be in it long term, to me, you're wasting your money. You're wasting your time because you're trying to do something that, for the long haul, or learn something about how to make this a long term thing when you really have no desire to do it. If it's all about making money, you can scale to a point where you're not increasing your expenses so much, but you really don't have a long-term focus. So as I've grown into more of a long-term focus, I'm looking at how I can be more efficient in my business. In other words, part of my efficiency is I'm now taking orders from certain companies that can be troublesome, that can be a little nitpicky. I may not be able to take those orders anymore, or I'm not going to take those orders anymore because if I got clients who, let's just say, and I'm not picking on any company, but it's a couple of them that do this, you can't drop your documents until we say so. So if I got 4 or 5 clients that's sending me work and they're like, hey, we trust your work, you're doing a great job. Once you get everything scanned, uploaded, go ahead on the drop. And then that means I can move to my next appointment. If I'm sitting here with 2 or 3 customers that are saying, yeah, you can't drop until we tell you to drop, which means now that interferes with me being able to go and do other work. Because let's just say if the shipping person company is UPS picks up by between 4 and 5:30 in most of the areas around in here in my area. So if I'm sitting up here messing around with somebody and they don't want me to drop until they say so, and I did their closing at 2 o'clock, scan and got it to them, let's just say by 3 o'clock or 3:15, and here it is 4:30, they still ain't told me here everything's good to go because they're backed up. Well, that's going to interfere with me being able to do other work. So that's not efficient for me. So that's causing me to lose money. And even if they are paying me a higher fee, but it's causing me to lose business over here. Does that make sense to y'all? Does that make sense? Now, at one point in time, it was like I just got to take what I can take, build my resume up, build my reputation up, and go. Now, can I take that same or order from that company? Yes, on a day that things are slow. On a day that things are slow, I can hop on it. I can get in there, knock it out, do whatever I need to do for them. If they want to take 5 hours before they tell me to drop, okay, that's cool because I ain't got much going on. But when I'm sitting up here pushing 75, 80 closings a month or slash appointments, that's including my general notary work, I do not have time some days to wait 3 hours after the closing to be told go drop. And then they want me to rush to go do it. You see what I'm saying? So they can say, yep, everything's been dropped. That right there is not efficient. Okay. Now it may be cool for them, but it's not cool for me, depending on my workflow. If that makes sense or you understand what I'm saying, put a 1 in the chat. Okay. Just drop a 1 in there. I understand it because I said it. You know what I'm saying? So let's get back here. So it goes on, it says examples: implementing software to automate customer service, outsourcing non-core tasks, using digital marketing, so forth and so on. Okay. So here's a let me read this. Scaling is often associated with startups and tech companies who aim to grow rapidly without incurring high operational costs. For instance, a software company can scale by selling more licenses of its products without needing to significantly increase the workforce and infrastructure. So here's some key differences between growth and scale. Growth, okay, the aspect focus, increase in size and revenue or resources when you're growing. Scaling, increase revenue without proportional costs increasing. Okay, so you want to keep, in other words, if you're spending, let's just say $750 a month to run your business, I'm just throwing a number out there, not that it should cost that much for a notary. If you're spending $700 a month to run your business, and you want to increase your revenue without doing that, that's what scaling is. How do I increase my revenue without increasing my costs too much? Okay. If you say, well, my cost went up $50 because I may have had to pay for a subscription to automate things and make things smoother, then that's fine. But if I had to increase, if I had, let's just say, if you're bringing in 750 or got 750 in expenses, let's just say you got 6,000. Okay, so you got $6,000. You got 6,000 coming in, and minus, we'll just say 750. I know that's a low expense. So you got 52.5, got 52.50. If you say, well, I want to increase that to let's just say 8,000. So I want to do 8,000 minus the 750. Well, you say, okay, well, that's cool. The problem is if you got 8,000 and then your expenses goes up to, 1780 a month, are you really doing any better? You see what I'm saying? You're doing a little better minus the 5250. So you increase 2 grand, but you're only netting 970. That's not what you want. You don't want that. You don't want that. Okay. So you got to figure out, how do I get the increase? I have a chance to increase it by 2 grand, but I don't want to eat the 2 grand up in expenses. And then I only have less than $1,000 true increase, which means it's going to be a little bit harder for me to expand my business because I don't have the capital to do such. Okay. So that's what you're thinking about. It says costs in the growth, costs rise with revenue, and scaling costs rise at a slower rate than revenue. Doesn't mean it don't increase. Resource usage, more resources are added, existing resources are optimized. So that means you got to find a way to optimize the way you're doing stuff. You cannot keep adding resources to it. And let's just say you may have to reduce the amount of time you're spending on in people's groups, memberships. And I tell people that are part of my membership, if you need to cut my membership, stop paying, for the membership that I offer and stuff, in order to increase your revenue so that you can move forward and do some things, then hey, go for it. And then when you get to a point financially that it won't hurt you or be a burden, then hey, hop back on. But for some people, are you really working to grow your business, or are you working so you can pay for those subscriptions and memberships that you have with some of these TMCs out here? Are you spending more time paying them than making sure that your business can grow? Because if everything you're doing is centered around making sure you have $150, $200 in membership fees, and then you're not really doing stuff with the membership, and then the information that they're providing you really isn't helping you to grow your business, then that is not a good use of your money and your financial resources. Any financial planner will tell you you need to stop. Goes on and says time. So short-term focus versus long-term. Example, hiring more staff to meet demand, automating the process to handle more customers. And then it goes on and says when to focus on growth versus scaling. Growth is ideal when a business is in the early stage or entering new markets, and immediate expansion is necessary to capture opportunities. Scaling becomes critical when the business wants to maximize profitability and efficiency, especially after establishing a solid foundation. I think the reason, oh, I'm sorry, y'all. My bad, y'all. I wish somebody would have told me I wasn't. This is what I was looking at. My bad, y'all. This is what I was looking at, the business scaling versus business growth. All right. This here chart. I was looking at that. My bad. Y'all know I be forgetting to do that sometimes to show y'all my screen. And then this here talking about the when to grow. So growth is ideal when a business is in its early stages or entering new markets. Scaling comes becomes critical when a business wants to maximize profitability and efficiency after, especially after establishing a solid foundation. And this again goes back to what I was saying earlier. Are you actually doing business? Are you actually out here working and doing business so you can pull revenue in? Because if you're not, then how do you plan on being efficient? You're working toward, now I can come back to you. Now you're working toward being efficient in doing nothing. That's really what it boils down to. If you're not actually trying to grow your business by getting work, by taking advantage of business opportunities, by going out there trying to market, even if you fail at marketing, that's fine. But somebody says, "Hey, look, can you? I heard you're a notary, and I need you. Can you come over here to this hospital for me and do this at? Well, how much you pay? Oh, well, I mean, all I got is $35. Well, I ain't doing that unless it's 150. You just eliminated an opportunity for you. I shared with y'all. I got nursing homes and hospitals who contact me all the time to come do their stuff. And they give the people a list of notaries. I'm not the only one that get called up. They give them a list of notaries, but the reason why I'm selected is because my prices are the fairest. That's why. I'm not saying that it's are they lower than everybody else? Yes, but it's not about the how high or low. It's about whether they're fair. And when somebody says I got a document that only has one signature that needs to be notarized. Oh, that'll be $155 or $150 or $200. What am I paying for? Well, you're paying for my time and my effort to come out there. It's my convenience for meeting you there. Okay, but you're mobile. How is it a convenience for you and you're already mobile? You're already moving back and forth, going places. And you want me to pay you essentially $140 travel fee because the notarizations in this state is $10. So you want me to pay you $140 for travel and some kind of convenience fee? So guess what? I get the phone. They call me, $20 travel fee, $10 per stamp. Now, if you're in your area, you do what you need to do. This is what I do in my area, and I get the business. And then they go and they tell the hospital, yeah, Griff came through for me. That's how I'm doing it. Okay. So I go out there and I grow. When the company called me up and said I had never marketed to them at all. To this day, I've been working with them about 6, 7 months. I do not know how they came across me. I'm gonna take time out one of these days and ask the lady who originally contacted me, but I don't know how they found me. All I know is, can you do this? I get an email, I say yes. I know of the company, I see them in my area, and I wanted to connect with them, but I just never had time. and then all of a sudden they reach out to me, I would be crazy not to say, you know what, yes, let me find a way. If I gotta, I'm gonna clear my schedule. What do you need me to do where? Okay, cool. Here's my fee. Oh, that works for you? All right, bet. Oh, y'all print? No problem. I just show up here? No problem. Oh, you want me to go a little bit further out? How about if I add it with this fee? Okay, that'll work. No problem. I'm on it. Now I get phone call. Hey, can you knock out this for us? No problem. I got you. So I'm sitting here like, this is beautiful. I'm out here doing the work. And as I do it now, I'm like, okay, how do I get better at it? How do I be more efficient at it? How do I get, so now when I know that this company is calling me and I'm sitting here like, okay, some of my $30 orders that I have no problem doing, I have no problem with the company, I'm actually not available now because this company, they're like, yo, we need you. 10-minute drive from my house. Okay. And the people who I have to work that's calling me, they're not even in the area. They're in a different part of Virginia. They're up there in the Richmond area and further up. So they're like an hour and a half, 2 hours away from me. And they're like, hey, can you knock this out? And I started working with one escrow officer, and now I'm working with about 4 or 5 of them. Five different escrow officers for this one company. And they're asking me, hey, can you do this for us down here? Some of them are refis, some of them are purchases, some of them are sales. Vast majority have been purchases. So I'm sitting here like, wow. And everybody said the real estate market was not in a active state. There are people out here, as I've shared with y'all, that are doing the best they can to keep business rolling. So here's something that I wanted to share with y'all. Let me see if I can pull it up. Okay. This here, when you get a chance, I'm gonna put the link in the description later. So come back into the video. I'm gonna do it later. I meant to do it sooner, but I forgot. I shared this with the members. This is a very good interview. Now, as I shared with them, this gentleman here, Lamar Tyler, been around for a long time. Him and his wife doing a great job with business. The only thing that I had a hard time understanding where he was coming from. I think I understand it now, but for really 10 years, I didn't understand a statement that he said, and it just didn't click with me. And I'm gonna explain to y'all why. He made the statement that basically, when you are a solopreneur, meaning an individual, entrepreneur, in your business, LLC, whatever, all you've done when you left your old job is just created yourself a new job. And some people look at that with a negative connotation. They look at it as a bad thing. And personally, I never did. I'm like, well, I don't have a problem working for myself. I'm my best employee. So I don't see anything wrong with that. Now, where I understand what I understand about now about when he said that when I first heard him 10 years ago, basically he was saying, if you to me, this is what he was saying, and it might not be, but this is how I interpret it. Now I understand it as, if you have a job and you get benefits, you get 401k, you get time off, all of that stuff. Well, now that you have your own business, you don't get that because you got to work the business. So I'm looking at it as, well, I don't care about the benefits. I don't care about the time off, because those are just constructs that they put in place to try to keep you at that company, even if they're not treating you well. So for me, if I have my own company, and yes, I'm the only employee, but guess what? I'm cool with that. Why? Because I get to control my time. If I can set my time there, hey, if I can find a way to be efficient and have scaled my business internally to where instead of me having to be up from 6 in the morning to 6 at night, 9 to 3, and I'm good. And I've done everything that I needed to do. And I got systems in place to keep me efficient and automated, then I'm fine with me it just being me. So it's nothing wrong, in my opinion, with going from a job to being an entrepreneur where you create yourself a job. Okay. You created yourself a job. Now, this other gentleman, and he can be, depending on how you view things, you can consider him someone controversial. Because he does a lot of commentary on various different things. But as I've learned in life, people, even though people you don't always agree with, they do sometimes tell, my bad, they do tell the truth. Sometimes they can, not sometimes, a lot of times they can, a lot of times they can tell you the truth. All right, I'm just trying to find this video that he did earlier so I can show y'all. All right, hold on. All right, so let me see if I can get the thumbnail to come up. For some reason, the thumbnail won't come up on this. Hold on, trying to see if I can get the thumbnail. Thumbnail won't come up. All right, so this gentleman here, Anton Daniels, he did a video today who said you'll have to create jobs for yourself after mass layoffs and federal buyouts, back to bartering. And what he's talking about in this video is how, and I never, and I know it, but it just didn't click, but I get it. In this video, he's talking about how some cultures actually come to America and create a job for themselves. And he's talking about the Asian community. They create a job for themselves, that Asian restaurant, that laundromat, and they hire everybody within their family. They don't hire outside because they're creating a job within. I think one of the biggest problems, and I'm gonna say it, and I know people may not like it, but you should take time out to understand this. I think one of the biggest problems within the Black and white community right now is that too many of us are focused on trying to get a business so we can just, I'm gonna create jobs for a bunch of other people. But sometimes you need to create jobs within your own family structure so that y'all can grow and expand and move forward, because it may be difficult for your children or even your spouse to go out here and get a job. So if you can create something and then you can hire your children, that's a good thing. But a lot of times we say, well, we want to go hire all these other people. What I'm seeing with some other cultures, they hire within their own family. So you can't do that if you haven't created a job for yourself. You have to create a job. Now, the reason why most people even start trying to be an entrepreneur, and the gentleman Lamar talked about it a little bit in there in his video, is that you've had problems and issues at your job, your W-2. People have given you a hard time. Now, have y'all had that? If you had that problem, put a 2 in the chat. If you've had problems at your W-2 and you said, I need to start my own business, or is that maybe that's the reason why you started your own, because you was having problems at your job. And I know that's why I quit, because I was having problems at my, that's why I did it, because I was having problems. So you're having problems at your job. Here's the issue. If you weren't a good employee, you're going to have a darn hard time being a good business owner. You got to learn how to be a good employee over there and be a good employee within your own business. If you can't be a good employee within your own business, meaning learn how to do what you're supposed to do correctly, efficiency, and on time, then how can you go and hire somebody and trust that them? You won't. You will never trust them because you're slick. If you've stolen from your other company, if you've done things over there that's negative and bad, you're going to do it within your own. And I've learned that recently listening to either him or somebody else. I can't remember who said it, but I agree with them. I'm like, yeah, that's one of the biggest problems. So most people have started becoming an entrepreneur because, hey, I don't like working for them. I had an idea and they stole it from me. I had an idea and they wouldn't support it. And I believe in it and I know it'll work. So I must just start my own thing. Nothing wrong with that. But before you start scaling, you have to grow your business and you have to get good at your business. You have to get good at doing the everyday things. Unless you've already outsourced them, say your accounting and this, that, and the other. Got that. Your trash pickup, got that. Office cleaning, got that. But you got to be able to, if you don't understand marketing, you got to get good at it. You got to get proficient at it so that when somebody comes in and say, oh, I can take care of the marketing for you or apply for that marketing director job that you've created now, you have to do what? You got to know your job as a marketing and how you want it done to the point to where you can make sure that they're doing it right. Because somebody can lie to you and say, yeah, I know marketing. Oh, yeah, I don't care. And then you leave all the marketing to them. And guess what? They're out here marketing, but they could be stealing your clients. And see, one of the problems that most people have, and you have in your W 2, is you have a supervisor or manager or owner who basically won't do anything in the business and dump it all on you. And you, as an employee, are actually running the business as if you're the owner, but you're not. And that's the most dangerous type of situation for you as a business owner to be in with an employee. You got an employee who is actually running the business as if they were you. And now your clients recognize and know them as the person who's running the business more than you. Well, guess what? Your clients might get tired of dealing with your business because of the lack of your presence in the business because you keep deferring to them, but yet you're also treating them bad. Because I guarantee this, I have not ever seen a situation where a person who wants to be an absentee boss, manager, owner treats the people with respect who actually making it happen for them. I can't think of us. They don't. So guess what? That means what? You, that means now you got to make a decision. And then next thing you know, you done learned the whole business structure and operations. You like, you know what? I'm gonna start my own and I'm gonna take these clients. That's what can happen. So I said, I need to make sure that I know my business. I understand how to work them printers. I understand how to work this computer. I understand everything that's supposed to happen within my business. And see, here's the thing: we applaud your Bill Gates, Michael Dell's, the Amazon Bezos, and Elon. We applaud all of them billionaires out there who Mark Cuban, who know every inch of their business. If you ever listen to the interviews on Mark Cuban, he said when he first got to Dallas, he learned everything there is about his organization. Yes, he was the billionaire owner, but he learned all of the different facets so he can make sure things are being done right and in accordance with what he wants. Why do you think they had to show Undercover Boss? They go out there and they find out, ooh, you're not keeping up with the company policy. Now you're a manager and you've been out there at the retreat that I paid for, and you brought your family an all expense paid trip, and you're here back at the store running the opposite of what we taught you at the retreat. That's a problem. And you can't recognize when somebody getting over on you if you don't understand how your business is supposed to run. That is key. You see what I'm saying? My lady here, she understands it. That is key. You got to understand your business. And there are a lot of people in this notary business who do not want to know. I don't care about all that. I don't know. That's why you can't notarize anything, because you don't want to know about that. All you want to know is how to make money. You just want to know how to grow your business. battery going dead on the phone. You just want to know how to grow the business, but you don't really actually want to know the business. Me and my wife, we spent time knowing the business. And see, here's the thing: when you have learned your business and you know it, you now know whether or not you want to who you want to give it to. I don't want to give it to that person because I know what this takes to grow this business and move it forward and keep it going. You ain't got it in you, but you do. And we've seen all kinds of stories and stuff about people like the guy, the janitor, who nobody could, whoever thought of, and it's like, yeah, we gave him the business. Why you gave it to Fred? Because he understands the business. He understands it. And he cares about people. And he's going to treat y'all right and this, that, and the other. But I've been, no, son, I'm sorry. We're not. No, I know you've been my VP, but we're not giving it to you. So you have to know your business. And if you're unwilling to know your business, you're opening yourself up to disaster when you start hiring people in. But it's nothing wrong with having a job in your own business because you, as my wife has shared with me many times, you have to be your own best, your first and best employee. When people get hired into your business, they need to see you coming to work on time, clocking in if you're supposed to clock in, clocking out if you're supposed to clock out for lunch and breaks and all that. Everything that you want them to do, you got to do. So you're talking about growing a business and you can't even be disciplined at the growth stage. How the heck are you going to scale it? And as you try to grow it and you say, well, I'm going to hire people, I'm going to get a virtual assistant, but you never respond to the virtual assistant. You don't pay the virtual assistant on time. The virtual assistant asks you for feedback on something they wrote for you or whatever, and you don't give it to them. Oh, I forgot. Your accountant asks you to pass on to, information to them, when you get your invoices and stuff, and you won't do it. So you're not a good employee. You can't follow your own directions. But yet you want to hire a bunch of people, and then you want to, the moment they even smell like they're going to do something wrong, you're all on them. And I think some people want to have employees just so they can fire somebody because they might have been fired in the past and they just want to know how it feels to fire somebody. Ooh, you're out of here. Okay. That's what some people want. So, do y'all understand what I'm saying? That's why I said when you're trying to grow your business and scale it, you got to be on point. And now now you have to ask yourself this question: is the training and the time spent not doing my business helping me to do my business? Because a lot of people, a lot of y'all are spending a lot of time in folks' Zooms, whether daytime, nighttime, whatever. You're spending a lot of time in these Zooms trying to learn the next thing that you can use to make money, the next this, the next that. And you don't know your actual business. You don't know the foundation of what you originally started doing. In this case, the notary part. You have no clue. You don't know anything about it. All you know is there's a stamp and somebody might call, but you're worried about estate planning, apostille, general notary, loan close, whatever you mainly do. You're worried about all these other things. You're constantly worrying about, okay, I can do this and I can sell this. And now you spend more time trying to get other people to buy in to something that you done bought in. And people come to me. I'm telling y'all now, do not come to me with any kind of multi-level marketing, anything. I'm not doing that social thing. I'm not giving anybody, paying anybody bills and hope that they'll turn around and then put money together to pay me. I am not doing that. I'm not doing Bitcoin or any of that kind of stuff. Don't ask. I'm running my business. I'm smart enough, intelligent enough that if I see that I need to get into options trading, I will get into options trading. If I want to do Forex, I will figure it out. I will do it on my own because you are a human being that I have no real deep relationship with. So why would I trust you with my money like that? It's not going to happen. Now, if you could print us, that's different. Frank, different. You see what I'm saying? My man Byron, I know he's straight. But I got to really know you and have spent some time with you, just as y'all should have done same thing with me before you like, okay, yeah. But you can't, and see, you're spending too much time doing that stuff and you're not running your business and going to everybody's conference, everybody meetup is not growing your business. You go to these conferences, how much of that stuff are you actually putting into practice? It takes time to write a book. That means you got to stop making money over here so you can spend time writing a book, especially if you're not a person that can stay up late at night. If you got to be to bed by 9:30 and you don't spend all day doing closings and then printing for your next closing, when you gonna write a book? Well, I do it on the weekend. Okay, how many chapters you gonna get done in a weekend? Well, maybe one or two. How many chapters is gonna be? 17. So you're gonna be the discipline in 17 weeks to get 17 weeks of working on just the weekend to write your book. You know, doggone well you're not. Because you're not disciplined to even doing your basic business stuff. So, any questions, any concerns, any thoughts about what I've said so far? Or really, that's pretty much it, to be honest with you. But I will put the links to these two videos in the description. And again, whatever their political views, that's their political views, or concerns for other videos that they do. Listen, listen, take the meat, throw away the bone, okay? And ask yourself, is this me? But you'll learn something. But it's okay to create yourself a job. There's nothing wrong with creating a job because everybody has a job to do. We always had use that joke. You just had one job. You had one thing to do in this job. You had one job, and it was dot dot dot. Do your job, and your job is to be a great business owner and to do your business the way it's supposed to be done. And when you get great at doing that, then you can scale so that you can be even better at it, greater at it, and then you can even bring more people in it. But if you can be great at the growth phase, you can bring people in. Just know that it's going to cost. And if you're trying to reduce costs, then get good at it and do all the aspects of it. Hire within with your family and have them help you and them be an example. And now your son could be the supervisor over the finance team. Your daughter could be the person in charge of the order processing team because they've been in there with you and they know your heart and they know what you expect. And they know how to, and then you'll use them to pass that information on to them, to your employees, to your other employees, because you have a core group here that's able to shield you from all the day-to-day stuff so you can work on the big things to grow the business and expand it even more. That's what the Lamar talks about in that video. That's why I say I agree with the stuff that he's saying in there. So any questions, any comments, anything that if did this clear up anything for y'all? I will put it this way before we leave, for those of you who are in here, real quick, now it's 18, so I'm expecting 18 responses. Are you at the business growth phase or scale? Type either growth or scale. Okay. All right. Whichever one you are, type it in. Are you growth or scale? You ain't got to give me the details. I just want to get an idea. Are you at growth or scale? Which one are you at? Type growth or scale. And there's no, and see, here's the thing. There's no shame in being in either one of them. There's no shame because this is your business, and some people might be in the growth phase for 2 or 3 years, 10 or 12 years. And then some people may be in a start getting into the scaling stage instantaneous, within 6 months. It all depends. There's nothing wrong with that. You see what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong. So, so if you feel you're in a growth phase, type in growth. If you feel you're in a scale phase, type in scale. And if you say, well, I'm a little bit, whatever one you feel you're in the most, I feel that I am in more of the growth phase. And I'm going to explain to you, and I meant to say this earlier. The reason why I feel that I'm in the growth phase, and I've shared this before with y'all. I have, okay, I started in 2018, growth phase. I'm working and I'm learning how to move this business and grow it while working the W 2. So from 2018 to 2020, that's what I was doing. In November of 2020, I went full time in the business. But at the same time, I was primary caretaker for my dad because my wife and my sons was gone working, so I was the main one home. So during that phase and during the height of the notary thing, I was growing the business as a full-time entrepreneur. So now I went from a growing my business as a part-time entrepreneur and full-time W-2 to a full-time entrepreneur. But the caveat was I had to take care of my dad, so I wasn't able to do as many orders as possible because I had to make sure he ate, took baths, all of that kind of stuff. I had to make sure all of that stuff got taken care of. Then when he passed away in 2022, I went into another growth phase of being a full-time notary entrepreneur that had no other responsibilities except to grow the business. That was it, just to grow the business and get established. Now I went into another growth phase when that happened. At the same time, the refinances, the interest rates went up, the refinances went down. So I had to restructure how I was going to do everything. I had to now learn to work in this new climate of orders because it wasn't all of the orders. And now I'm in a different growth phase now in 2025 where the business is very, very sporadic. So I'm like, I gotta be in a position where I can take any and everything when it comes. So when you have somebody saying, oh yeah, we'll pay you 150, okay, got it. I can't take that $30 order. I know I got 15 $30 orders I can do, but instead of 15, now I can only do 7 because I got these other orders that's coming in. So now I'm trying to figure this out and I'm figuring it out. So I've been in a little bit of a growth phase. However, I've been scaling because this here's an example of scaling 2 printers. I got 2 scanners. Okay. I got my infrastructure for buying my paper and my toner and stuff. So I got things together. So I can print on the go if I need to. I can scan on the go if I need to. I got mobile Wi-Fi, all of these different things so that it makes it easier for me to get the job done. That's how I've scaled my business. And see, and I meant to also say this earlier, and I'm glad y'all are still here. One of the things you got to take in account is sometimes you're scaling, and I know I mentioned this, I think I mentioned it earlier, but scale within your own business first before you start thinking about trying to take it out. You see what I'm saying? Scale. In other words, you got to first determine what level of scaling needs to be done in your business. That's the best way to put it. What level of scaling needs to be done in your business? Because what the TMCs, trainer mentor coaches say you need to do to scale your business may not be what you need to scale your business. You know your business. Well, we're all notaries. Okay, but it don't mean The way I scale is the way you scale. The way you scale your business is going to be different from me for a wide variety of factors. So, scale, yes, but how do you go about scaling? What do you scale? When do you scale? And another thing, in the description is going to be a link to a playlist where there's people talking about business growth and scaling. And scaling your business, depending on what you plan on trying to do, can be very daunting. And if you don't get it right, it can mess your business up. So you'll see 3 sets of links in there after this is over, because again, I forgot to put them in there before we started. The 2 videos to the 2 different persons speaking, Anton and Tyler with Vushi, and then a list of different videos, a playlist of different videos talking about business scaling. And when you listen to these people talk about it, you have a better understanding. See, a lot of the TMCs, I don't think they really break it down. They just say you need to scale your business. And to them, scaling your business is starting another stream of income. So you're a notary, start a signing company. You got a signing company, now start a training company. You got a training company, now write books, tapes, and CDs. Now you're writing books, tapes, and CDs, now go work at the NNA. This is what a lot of them doing. Not one particular person I'm trying to pick at, so don't think that I am. But this is the pattern that I've seen, and y'all see it too. So these are the things that they're doing. Okay, now do fingerprinting. Now do apostille. Now do general notary. Now do Ron. Now go create affiliate links. Now go start doing, go start, selling this and selling that in your field inspection. Okay, you're just adding a bunch of businesses, but you're not necessarily scaling your end of the business that you're in. You're not really scaling that. You're just, okay, I've hit a wall with my notary business, so I'm gonna be a field inspector. I hit the wall with my field inspection, I'm gonna do apostille. I hit the wall with that, I'm gonna do this. Wedding officiant, all of these different things, you're pulling in different streams of income, but you're not actually scaling any of them to be more efficient. People are leaving one, running all over here to the other one because now this is making the money. But then when that doesn't make the money, now they're trying to figure out how to get the other one up and running. You didn't scale. You didn't do anything to stay active with it. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. It says I'm investing more money into my business to increase my revenue. Yeah. And that's why she's in the business growth phase. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I haven't had to put out too much money with mine. For me, it's just been really making sure that I am available when I get the call and being willing to say no to certain companies. And it's like, I hate to say no, but no, the answer is no. I cannot do that because I'm already booked. And with my direct clients, outside of what happened for today to meet tomorrow, normally they're booking me out a week or 2 in advance. And then I'm working with an estate planning company. They book me out a month in advance. So I'm sitting here like, okay, people are eating my time up, not even eating, they're booking me. And then that doesn't leave me any leeway for some of the other small orders that I was doing. And this is just a natural progression, in my opinion, of how your business can grow if you're out there doing it. If you're not out there doing it, and see, for me, I haven't really had to market like my man here saying he invested more to marketing of the business. I haven't really had to do that because people have been telling folk about me, and I haven't had to pay a dime for them to do it. So I'm getting a phone call. Yeah, so and so referred me to you. So and so referred me to you. So does it matter? No. As long as I get it. Can I market? Yes. If I have to, I will. But right now, I'm on standby if I need to market. But I'm also got to make sure that I can handle the influx of business. Because what's good does it do to market and you can't handle the business that comes in? And especially when you don't know it. So you've advertised, You got all this increase in business, but you only got one printer and you only have a scanner. You're gonna be struggling. You're gonna have a hard time trying to meet the need of the people. That's like people saying, come in for oxtail soup, and you get there and they're like, oh, we only had 3 bowls. Well, there's 15 people here for it. You're not prepared. So you got to be prepared for the increase. And that's a whole nother topic. Are you prepared for increase in your business? If you're not prepared for increase in your business, then why are you doing things to increase your business when you're not ready for it? All right, party people, I'm out of here. Thank y'all very much. Oh, just been a little bit more than an hour. Okay, cool. It's actually shorter than I expected. I'll be honest with you. Shorter than I expected. But as always, I greatly appreciate y'all. For those of you looking at the replay, hit the like button. Greatly appreciate it. What else? And as soon as this here process, in a few minutes, I will add those links in there to all the videos and the playlist that I was talking to y'all about earlier. If there was something that I said I was going to do for us, this video, put something in there and I forgot, you don't see it in the next day or so, send me a note and remind me, because sometimes I'll forget. Okay. All right. Y'all have a good one. Thank you. Talk to y'all later. Peace.